Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. So my title is how much longer do we have until we're invaded? Or, when will we be invaded? And I hate to burst your bubble on this because there may be some of you who are like, oh, we'll never be invaded as a nation, or maybe we'll be invaded at this point or that point. Folks, we already have been invaded. We've been invaded for a long time, and we're still being invaded as you and I speak. There are lots, and I know you're thinking, oh, okay, you're talking about the southern border and all these illegals coming across. Well, it's certainly a problem to have a bunch of illegals coming across this border from various countries that are here to just kind of get a free ride, or maybe they're avoiding criminal charges in their country, or maybe they are here to come to work or to have a child and get to stay here, whatever it is. The bigger even problem is, and that's saying a lot, because what I just stated is a huge problem with hundreds of thousands of them coming across the border every month. But the bigger problem than that is that we have people from China and from Russia predominantly that are coming here that we just don't understand what in the world they're doing, at least you and I. I mean, we have a good idea of what they're doing or why they're coming here. But when you're seeing a rapid increase in illegals coming across the border that we're allowing into our country, that are from countries that seem to be at some kind of war status with us, you have to kind of stop and go, this is strange. You and I need to be aware of this, and we need to kind of wake up to the fact that we are being invaded on a daily basis. And some of those are here to probably just break down our society, be a drain on the society, be a drain on the economy, be a drain on our social services, our communities and everything like that. But then also, and also just kind of rapidly change our culture. But then also there's a good number of people coming across this country that their intentions are unknown, but very well could be possibly a level of espionage that purposely is to destroy our nation. There are reports and estimates that the intention is maybe upwards of 10 million people to bring across this country over the next few years. And while that number sounds kind of far-fetched, it could be a very easy number for them to get when you start to look at the 250,000 to somewhere close to 500,000 people a month coming across the border now. It's mind-blowing. We're seeing little reports, and it's still kind of, I guess you could say, on the fringe of reporting in the conspiracy theory realm. But more and more I am seeing evidence. Keep having to hold the tripod here, because as you can see, the puppies are down here and they're probably going to try to knock this tripod over. I am seeing more and more evidence that these things, that the people are coming across from China and from Russia in larger numbers than what is being estimated. We're seeing very possibly groups of people coming across that are training. There was a video that was shared on a Chinese video channel this past week, and you could tell very certainly that they were in the United States. They were Chinese nationals speaking in Chinese, Mandarin, and they were training, firearms training. I got a report this morning from a friend that lives out in the middle of nowhere. They're not near any big city. He isn't aware of a large population of Chinese folks living in his area, and was just kind of messing around on his radio and picked up a Chinese station, completely, broadcasting in Chinese language, which is strange for the area that he's at. Like I said, other than maybe the one or two Chinese restaurants in a small little, little towns, there's not a population of Chinese people in his area. So why is there an obscure radio station being broadcast in Mandarin? These are questions that a lot of people are starting to ask. There's reports of cells of Chinese nationals and Russian nationals in the United States. I'm not here to tell you that that's a fact. I'm just telling you that these are reports that I'm seeing It kind of started off in the very fringe areas of kind of conspiracy stuff, and now it's becoming a little bit more and closer to mainstream, or at least some legitimacy to it. This is happening as you and I speak, and we can sit here and we can talk about when Taiwan and China is going to go at it, and are we going to be involved. We can talk about the possibility of NATO getting involved more into the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Just this morning, I believe it was, or yesterday, North Korea said that the entire Korean peninsula is on the verge of nuclear war. We can talk about those things all the time, and they're very legitimate and worthy of being discussed and prepared for. But what about all the people that are coming into this country that we are just not aware of their intent? And that on the surface at least, the intent that they might be coming here for looks pretty bad. We need to be preparing for that and having these discussions within our groups. Is there anything that you and I can do on a national level, on a official level to stop this? Probably not. I mean, it's just not going to happen probably. But you and I can start making preparations for ourselves and our families, because I'm telling you, it looks bad. We've had a lot of infrastructure destruction in this country over the last year. Just recently, the bridge and over the Yellowstone River in Montana collapsed, causing a train to derail and dump into that river. Was that an accident? Was that just, failing infrastructure, or was there something else nefarious to it? The questions were asked back when the Ohio train derailment happened. I don't have the answers to these things, but they are suspicious. A lot of people think it may be Antifa or other organizations, and that's always possible also. But when you have hundreds of thousands of foreign nationals from countries that we seem to be at odds with, great at odds with, on the verge of a war with, and they're pouring into this country, you have to stop and wonder why that's happening. And it's a question that's not being asked in the mainstream area, but you and I need to be thinking about that. You can have your own ideas, and that's fine, but we have to be preparing for this, because we're not talking about a potential invasion. I've heard all my life about, or at least most of my life, how China has this 1 million-man army, but they have no way of getting it here. Well, maybe they don't have a way of taking 1 million troops from China and putting them in the United States right away, but they've been putting a lot of people in this country over time, just a little at a time across our border. There's evidence indicating that the United States is working with the CCP of helping these nationals come across. And the vast majority of them are all military-aged males. There's some women, but the vast majority is military-aged males. Why? Why is that happening? I don't know. I can tell you this, that you and I need to get ready for that. It's kind of a gut feeling deep in me that this problem is probably very near into the future of causing a real catastrophe here in America. And we're probably going to start seeing more and more of the results of this thing happening, whether it be infrastructure problems or other things. We need to be ready for that. You need to be getting your houses in order, and your families and your communities, your tribe. You need to be talking about this. Your tribe needs to be training. You need to be talking. You need to be planning of what to do in your area when things like a red dawn, maybe not jumping out of airplanes and parachuting into your backyard, but that all of these potential cells go active. What are you going to do? What's your plan? And you need to be ready for that, because it's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.